Maybe I can explain this in 15 minutes. I'm going to talk about the gang situation in the streets. You know, sometime I'll be posting gang members and stuff, what they got to say about situations, because I like to cover all the situations going on in the black community. And I get a lot of brothers, they say, man, that gang stuff ain't this and that gang stuff ain't that. We should do this. We got to make better choices. We should do that. Man, listen, that's all bullshit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whether you want to face it or not, black people, the way you living in this country, a lot of your people don't have no choices. I know you would like to think that there's just a billion jobs out here and that a young brother can just walk down the street and start working tomorrow, but it don't go like that. You know, and you can't even go to the personnel office no more and get a job. You got to go online and apply, and it might take some days to get a response. It ain't just jobs just hopping out like you say, right? The situation with the gangs in the community. You see, we live in a prison industry country. There's jails and prison everywhere. The police make their money from writing a lot of tickets, citations, towing cars, booting cars, and crime. Now, when you go in some of these underdeveloped areas in the black community, because like here in Chicago, we got nice areas where people live and stuff like that, and then we have more underdeveloped areas. You know, public housing and shit like that. And what a lot of people don't want to realize is in some situations, everybody don't have good parents. Everybody's parents are not educated. You know, I lived in O Block for about 11 years, since like 98. Had my daughter there, raised my children. And I used to observe outside, and it might be 3 generations, grandma, mother, and baby. They're really underprivileged, no education or nothing like that. When you talk about the gang situation, if you a civilian, you would never understand the gang situation if you're not in and out of the county jail, in and out of prison. I've never been to prison, but I've been in the county jail for 4 months. The gang situation is a situation that you can't do nothing about. It's built from the streets, from outside. So you could live in a community. If you live in a house or you live with a decent family, you'll never understand that. If you got, I just give a number, 50 young brothers on the block. Out of that 50, maybe 4 or 5 can avoid the gangs and go to school and do something. 45 of them, they're going to be dealing with it. Out of that 45, some of them hustle a little bit. Some of them do this, some of them do that. Some of them do gunplay. They all don't do the same thing. But one thing for sure, they got to eat. So you got a young man, he grew up in a home situation. He don't have the best living conditions. He don't have a father around. Y'all always talking about the fathers need to be around. This need to happen and this need to happen. Hey man, if I'm 16-year-old, living in a project or a housing area, all that, what need to happen, what that got to do with today? If I get up right now and I'm 15 years old and my daddy ain't there and my mama, we living in a bad area, what the fuck you talking about? What need to happen? Bro, I got to eat today. So if when I'm going to go look for a job with what money? I need to be eating something today. I need to get my blunt. I need to get my weed. That's going to be the mentality. I need to get me a juice. So if people walking up and down the block want to buy weed, want to buy pills, want to buy stuff, I got to get that immediate money. and I'm clicked up because I live in a community, and it's automatically clicked up. If you're a decent citizen, if you're a conscious brother or working, what do you know about that? Where you can make a decision on that. And if you're the type of brother around that made a conscious decision not to do that, you should be the main person to know that everybody wouldn't have been able to do what you did. You was fortunate to be able to make some type of conscious decision to not have to fuck with the gangs and sell drugs and gang banging shit. Everybody ain't got that option. When I grew up as a kid, I didn't have to do that. But I lived in areas where that's all there is. There is no opportunity outside. There is no black conscious motherfucker that's on this internet coming to them housing development area in that public housing area offering shit. You're on the internet talking shit, but you ain't going there getting them shorties no jobs or nothing. We don't even see you. I ain't never seen none of you niggas in O Block. I don't see none of you niggas at Harvey. I don't be seeing you niggas outside in the wild hundreds and shit or where the action is at. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to sell your little weed or do whatever. You outside. The police is harassing you even when you ain't doing nothing. So you in and out of the jail. Okay, the jail, the guards is a gang. You got to be clicked up. Period. All that, you a punk, you don't know what you're talking about. You got to be clicked up because the guards is clicked up. Everybody clicked up anyway. All that, what should happen, that we dealing with the reality. You go to jail, the Hispanic, the Latin boys going to be clicked up. Different black groups going to be clicked up. They clicked up already. Been clicked up since the 60s. So when you saying should, man, fuck should. The reality is they clicked up already. So you either clicked up or you ass out. You go to the county jail in Chicago, you're a neutron, they ain't gonna even let you go to the barbershop. You ain't even be able to get your hair cut. They're gonna take your commissary. Right? And what you gonna do? Yeah, you could fight, but that ain't gonna stop you from getting shanked up and cut up by 15, 16 dudes from a certain crew. So you in it. Your neighborhood is that. Everybody's that. Sometimes you might go to jail and shit like that, and you might get away and try to go back to school, try to make something out yourself. But if it's 50 of y'all, 70 of y'all, 200 of y'all, you have any idea how many black people live in public housing? Okay, what? All of them gonna do that? So I'm on the block, right? I ain't got no job. I gotta eat. Now, I can stay on the block and wait till somebody asks me for some weed. Y'all say that's bogus. I can stand on the block and wait somebody ask me for some pills. Y'all gonna say that's bogus. But I could kick your door in and take your shit when you go to work. I could carjack you. I could rob you, right? Right? So out of the bad things I'm doing, the ones that's standing up waiting for somebody to ask for weed, they doing the most legitimate shit out of the bad shit. Facts. They doing the most legitimate thing, even though you're going to call it negative, they waiting for somebody to ask for a product and selling it. But you got the other ones that'll rob you, that'll carjack you. Because it's not like one mind you. Because it's not like one mindset out here. It's a variety of mindsets. Some dudes are asked to sell weed or whatever and sell you weed. You know, you ask for weed or sell their pills or whatever, and then fall off, get robbed, or the police bust them. And then they might not have the ability to go buy some more weed and sell it. So they kick a door in, rob somebody, do a stick up, run up in the store. All of these things, the environment create these things. So then it's gangs. Now you can get on social media and complain about gangs all day, but they're not going nowhere based on that. It's just as much you honest people's fault that we got gangs as it is their fault. You're not really providing nothing for your community. Don't try to, when you see gang members and gang stuff, Don't try to talk shit like you care. You ain't doing nothing for your community to alleviate that. Okay, you say the gangs is united and they negative, and you positive. But you positive people ain't united to do nothing about it. They can't go to you for no job. They can't go to you for no opportunity. Listen, as a conscious roster, I was in L.A., and they stopped me from selling my incense. I was looking for a job. I got $20. I got to go for job interviews. If I take these buses all day, when I get back home, I might only have $7. Should I take the $20 and feed my children and eat? Or should I roll the dice and spend $13 and come back and still ain't got no job? That's just the real shit. Okay? So you saying what should happen and what shouldn't happen, but I'm going to be honest. If I'm in a bad situation, mother ain't got no education, grandma don't live here, daddy in jail, in prison, or dead, or live somewhere else because him and mama don't get along. Ain't like he a deadbeat. Mama told him to get lost, right? I'll sell that shit on the block. Depending on how bad it is, I'll rob you. I'll break in your house. I will take your shit because it's a matter of life and death for me. We got children in Chicago sleeping on L trains, New York. They sleeping on trains. They living on buses. They hustling on the bus. They get on the bus loud. I got loud. They trying to eat. I ordered a pizza in O Block, and the man came and knocked on my door and said, I just got robbed. Called the police. They took his pizza, took his money, took all the pizzas, took his car. The next morning when I went outside, some of the little shorties was out there, and I said, them pizzas was good, wasn't they? They said, you better know it, old G. They out there starving. They up early in the morning trying to find out how they could get something to eat. You all high on the hog on this social media talking about this person shouldn't do this person shouldn't do that. And then when the young brother, when he do get caught up in some crimes and go to prison, they're like, okay, pay your debt to society. Do 5 years, do 4 years. When they get out, is they debt paid to society? No. They get out, they can't get no job because they got a record. So what do you mean paid they debt to society? You a conscious nigga. You ain't got nothing for. You an uppity working nigga. You ain't got nothing for. The nigga was in jail. It's blood to the death. It's Crip to the death. It's BD to the death. It's GD to the death. It's the prison system. You ain't there. When you do go, you don't say nothing. You a neutron. You ain't got no power. So when you get out, can't get no jail, it's still blood gang. It's still BD. It's still Crip. It's still GD. It's still Blackstone. It's still Vice Lord. It's still Four Corner Hustler. That's just what it is. They ain't nobody gonna hire them. They can't get no apartment, and they got to get it how they live. It takes some brothers a long time to figure how to wiggle their way out of that. If you catch a case, how you gonna pay your lawyer? So listen, man, keep it real. Stop trying to down the brothers and sisters in the gangs and shit like that when that's everybody's fault. That ain't just their fault. If you black and you in the community and the community ain't right, that's all of us in the community fault. That we ain't making no better way for our people. And if you can't make no better way for black people, you got to shut the fuck up. A nigga gonna get it out the mud, and a motherfucker gonna get it how he live. And if you can't do nothing about it, shut the fuck up. And on top of that, you ain't outside, you ain't saying shit to nobody's face, so get off this social media trying to disrespect gang members when you not man enough to get a crew of motherfuckers like you and walk up and talk that shit in person. On God, nigga.